much. Well, without further ado, guys, thank you very much for joining me and Fiona this afternoon. My name's David Croft. I'm the regional sales manager for Cosmos here in the Southwest, and I'm absolutely delighted to be coming together with Miles Morgan today to talk about our Western Canada by Rail tour. And here it is. Let me first say that, as I say, we're absolutely delighted to be coming together with Miles Morgan today. It's a multi-award winning travel agent in the Southwest. No one's worked harder through the pandemic to keep customers informed and protect the bookings for future travel as well. Doing so, as always, with the best customer service. All cards on the table. I used to work for Miles Morgan Travel, and I know many of the team very well. So I've seen firsthand the experience and quality that goes into every booking so that you can book with confidence. This leads me on nicely to today's presentation and the reason that you're all here, and that's the Western Canada by Rail tour with Cosmos, led by the fantastic Fiona Fortune, as you can see there. Now I'm just going to, if Fiona would like to just say anything before I continue. You're on mute at the moment, Fee.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, okay. Yeah, it wouldn't be a Zoom call without someone forgetting they're on mute. So
would be me, wouldn't it? Okay, hi, I'm Fiona. I'm going to be taking this lovely trip to the Canadian Rockies. A picture of me on the screen there with slightly shorter hair. Nowadays it's a lockdown hair. I've been to Canada before, not to this area, so I'm really looking forward to sort of visiting the Rockies. It's supposed to be absolutely beautiful, and especially the Alaskan cruise. So yeah, so it'll be a first for me. So we've got some lovely people booked on the trip already, so please join us. You know, give us a call and we can look after you. Come in and see us. All the girls know about the trip here, so pop into Portishead and have a chat. Back to you, Dave.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Pete. So moving on then, I guess I'm going to talk a little bit about Cosmos in case you're not familiar with us, because that's obviously who you'll be going with as well as booking with MMT. Now, we've been around for nearly 60 years in a fixture in the UK travel industry. We've got the experience and the expertise that comes with that level of history. The reason I've put up our brochures here from the 60s all the way through to the current day is just to show how, you know, often I put up these brochures and we're very fondly remembered in that respect. As only last week I did a presentation, and it's actually a member of the MMT staff told me that in 1982 they remember that Cosmos America brochure because they had to learn it cover to cover as an apprentice at 17. I'm not going to say who it is because that gives their age away, but that just does show how long we've been around. We're also part of Globus Family of Brands, which is a family owned and run with offices in USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand and Switzerland. We've got the big pulling power to cultivate relationships in all of the best destinations, but small enough to care so that every customer has a fantastic holiday with us as well. So do be sure that when you come with us, you know, there's a lot of experience behind it. And before I delve any further into the tour, the last thing before that is that we're finding on a lot of our calls that customers are just as interested in what we're doing from a safety point of view on tour at the moment, because obviously with everything kind of more highlighted at the moment because of COVID, and just as important as the tours themselves. And we've put together a 6-point plan, which I'll be happy to give to Fiona to send on to any of you. And it just shows everything that we're doing to make sure that you're safe on tour. It's everything from regular temperature checks, the fact customers, anyone that comes must have both vaccinations or a negative test within 72 hours of departure. We've also got enhanced cleaning protocols, sanitized luggage throughout the ship, and also what a real key bit is that we're upgraded wireless devices. You know, sometimes when you go on a tour, you'll find that there's quite a crowd around the tour director. What we've done is upgrade our wireless listening devices so that you can stand at what you deem to be a safe and comfortable distance and still not miss anything that the tour directors are saying. That's the kind of level that we're kind of at in terms of everything taken into consideration, really. So to move on, and now the main reason that you're all here is the Western Canada by Rail tour. Now, I'm very excited to speak about it today because it covers a myriad of fantastic, unforgettable experiences. It's one of our most popular tours. And I'm going to put together, I'll show you a 3-minute video that I've put together with an overview of the whole tour. I will be going into more detail as we go along, but I thought this would be a nice one to just whet the appetite a little. So that's just a little overview of the tour. And as I said, I'll go into it a little bit more detail. But before I go any further, why choose an escorted tour? Well, escorted tour with Miles Morgan Travel means that having everything basically being done for you with a complete hassle-free travel, where, as I say, you hand over all the responsibilities, the transfers are taken care of, excursions are arranged, all the logistical issues and worries are gone and absolutely taken care of. We also have tour directors with 20 years experience. And the thing about the 20 years experience in the industry, and the thing about our tour directors is they're freelance, so they come back. They don't have to come back to us year on year, but they always do because they like how we work. They're very familiar with how we are, and they've got great destination knowledge, but also that experience that comes with working with us for so long, that knows how they know how to deal with issues and anything that comes up. So you know that when you go, you're very much in safe hands. And of course, also like-minded people. There'll be a lot of people around you that are all like looking to go and see this for the very first time, and kind of a bucket list kind of experience. And I think sometimes when you're in an atmosphere among all these like-minded people, it can really kind of add something to it as well. So, or for all those reasons and more, is a great reason really to choose an escorted tour. So without further ado, this would be where it all begins. Your Cosmos holiday begins as soon as you leave home with our private pickup service. That'll take you down to Heathrow, where you'll be met by Fiona. Just to say that the flights should be with Air Canada. This will be confirmed 11 months before departure. And this is when the any kind of upgrades, etc., can also be added as well. So from there, you'll then fly into Calgary. What we'll do that evening is get you settled into the hotel. You'll be staying in the Sandman Signature, Calgary downtown, for one night, which, as the name suggests, is conveniently located and just minutes away from any of the shopping and transportation links to explore the city. And then on to day two. Today you'll spend the morning in Calgary before you're making your way to Banff National Park, where you'll stay for 2 nights. So on day two in the morning in Calgary, you'll have a sightseeing tour that includes Fort Calgary, Stampede Park and the Saddle Dome, which are the key venues involved in the iconic Calgary Stampede. And also the Canada Olympic Park, which was built to host the 1988 Olympics as well. After that's complete, you'll then drive through the foothills of the Rockies onto Banff National Park, as I said, where you'll stay for 2 nights. And on arrival there, you'll receive an orientation tour as well. So just to get you acclimatized to everything that's going to go on in Banff. Once in Banff, you'll stay in the gorgeous Banff High Country Inn, as you can just see in the top right-hand corner there. Set against the mountain backdrop, as everything needed for relaxing with a sauna, heated pool and hot tubs. Also provides a great base from which to explore as well. And, with day 3 at leisure, you can do exactly as you wish. There's the opportunity to play golf, horseback ride, hike the wilderness trails in the area, stroll through Banff, or just relax in the hot springs, really. The park is a fantastic opportunity for wildlife watching. So you can see deer and bighorn sheep. You may spot some of the amazing creatures in their natural habitat as well. We do have optional tours, helicopter rides across the Rockies, etc., should you wish. These are available to be booked 90 days from departure, or even with availability on tour with the tour director as well, should you get there and want to explore a bit more. So once you've had your 2 days in Banff National Park, day 4 will then see you move from Banff to Jasper, but via both Lake Louise and the Columbia Icefield. Traveling, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic day, this day 4, because I say you leave one national park and go to another phenomenal one with 2 absolutely terrific sites in between. Lake Louise, with its waters reflecting the surrounding mountains and glaciers. You got the precipitous gorges, snow-capped mountain ranges, and all these amazing lakes as the coach scales past 3 different mountain passes en route to it as well. And you can just see there is someone kayaking in that picture there. Just so you can see the scale of what we're talking about of Lake Louise. And then after you've had some time at Lake Louise, you'll then go on to the Columbia Icefield. Now this is really a highlight of the tour, and it's an opportunity to explore the ancient Athabasca Glacier on a giant ice explorer, which is an all-terrain vehicle that travels on ice, measuring 750 feet thick. So I'll just show you a small video of that now. Yeah, that really does promise to be an adventure of a lifetime. As I say, one of your included excursions with your tour. On that, you'll also discover all about glaciology and things like that as well. So there's the opportunity to learn as well as say go on the tour, and they just see another closer look at one of those fantastic Ice Explorer vehicles as well, and you just see in the bottom right hand corner there, but again the scale with what we're dealing with here. So that on your way from the Columbia Icefield, you'll then get to Jasper. Where on arrival, once again, you'll have an orientation tour to showcase all of the unspoilt beauty of the area. And that's where your accommodation for the next night is in the Jasper National Park, staying at the Marmot Lodge, which again has an indoor pool to relax, a restaurant on site, and serves as a really terrific base from which to explore the park as well. And with free time on day 5, that's exactly what you'll have the opportunity to do. We do have the optional tour of a narrated cruise on Malign Lake to Spirit Island, and on the return journey, you basically go through the dramatic Malign Canyon as well. Or should you wish to take it easy, then you can absolutely explore dependently if you wish. With much of the afternoon and evening free, you can go, for example, for a hike to explore some of the local charm. I mean, Jasper's is the largest national park in the Canadian Rockies. So, there's plenty of opportunity there. Keep an eye out for a lot of native wildlife, including grizzly bears, moose, caribou and wolves, obviously, hopefully from a very safe distance. And remember, your experienced tour guide will always be on hand to assist you with any local knowledge as well. So, or tips or where you'd like to go walking or hiking safely throughout the tour. So always make sure you lean on them if you're looking to find out a little bit more about where you'd like to go, or that's basically what they're there for, And then, if that wasn't enough already, with a trip on the glacier and Lake Louise and everything else, and 2 of the finest national parks that America has to offer, you then get on to day 6, and it's time to board the iconic Rocky Mountaineer. I think you'll feel the excitement build throughout the morning as you board the Rocky Mountaineer. It's a 2-day, all daylight classic rail journey from the Canadian Rockies to the Pacific coast. You'll embark on what Rocky Mountaineer call their journey through the clouds, from Jasper to Vancouver. That's what they've called it. And en route, you'll pass Mount Robson, which is the highest mountain in the Canadian Rockies. You'll follow the North Thompson River and enjoy vistas of the Monashee Mountains. And then you'll stay overnight in Kamloops en route before then reboarding your train for day 2 and doing it all again, this time heading through the ranch lands along the Thompson River, and continue through the stark beauty of Fraser Canyon and the turbulence of the mighty Hell's Gate. After an early evening arrival in Vancouver, you'll transfer to your hotel, where you'll stay in what's called the Holiday Inn and Suites Vancouver downtown. It's located 3 blocks from the shopping plaza and in modern guest rooms that put you right in the heart of Vancouver. Now, obviously, I'm talking there about Hell's Gate and Fraser Canyon and everything. I've got a video that will show you far better than I can describe it. So here we are. Rocky Mountaineer's journey through the clouds.
Now prepare to be transported to a world like no other.
Oh, I have to say, sorry, do bear with me. The video shows everything I've just talked about, but the video goes in reverse. Let me assure you, you will be going from Jasper to Vancouver, not the other way around. So do humor me on that one. I need to just go.
Now prepare to be transported to a world like no other. Of magnificent coastal mountains, vibrant canyons, daring whitewater rapids, and surreal desert landscapes. As you travel side by side with the Fraser River, Canada's largest salmon run, you'll begin to feel the enormity of our land. Then you're sweeping northbound, deciding whether to focus on the scenery or the world-class cuisine. Pyramid Falls astonish. A glacier-fed creek tumbling out of a hanging valley, then spectacularly dropping 300 feet to join the Thompson River below. This is glacier country too, so enjoy nature's majestic wonders at your own leisurely pace. And then, the pinnacle. At 3,954 meters, Mount Robson is the highest peak in the Canadian Rockies and is fondly known by mountain climbers as the Great White Fright. At Moose Lake, maybe you'll catch sight of an actual moose, or a wolf, bighorn sheep, or a grizzly bear. In 1911, when the Grand Trunk Pacific Railway reached mile 112, a community was born. Now it's your turn to explore charming Jasper. A journey through the clouds. Conquer the highest peaks in the Canadian Rockies and confirm what you've always known. It's anything but lonely at the top.
So as you can say, absolutely fantastic. That video shows it better than I could ever really describe it. But just to talk a little bit more about Rocky Mountaineer, really, in the fact that there are two tiers, if you will, both silverleaf and goldleaf, depending on what you'd like to do. Now, I don't want to be too video heavy, but again, this will explain perfectly the difference between both. And we've got prices available for both silverleaf and goldleaf. And I'll just go through some of the differences between the two afterwards. So basically, yeah, that's the Silverleaf experience. What you get is a single level dome coach with panoramic views with oversized windows. All the meals are created by the team of onboard chefs. Each carriage host is attended by 2 hosts plus 1 culinary team member. The gourmet meals are plated and served to you at your seat. And there are complimentary beverages, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and snacks throughout the journey. And now this is the gold leaf, which you'll be able to see the difference between silverleaf and gold leaf. see the difference. At the complimentary beverages all throughout are all the same, but you do get a difference. So the hot gourmet breakfasts and lunches, morning scones, afternoon wine and cheese, it's all served downstairs in well, basically a separate lower level dining room. So your top, so it's a two-tiered carriage, where the top one will be your viewing platform with the bi-level dome, so that there's basically no obstruction of any of the views. And then downstairs you'll go for your meals and everything like that in an exclusive dining car. They're attended by 3 to 4 hosts, plus a full culinary team as well, and also has an exclusive outdoor viewing platform as well. So they're essentially the main differences between them. And we do have the prices on it, and it's approximately £400, I believe, extra per person if you were to go from up from Silverleaf to Goldleaf. So the options are there basically. So, but we have prices for all of it. But then back onto land, really, onto the tour. Day 8 sees you embark on a morning sightseeing tour once you've arrived in Vancouver. The tour has a focus on Chinatown, Gastown, which is the original settlement that became the core of like the whole creation of Vancouver, really. And then Stanley Park, which is essentially a 400-hectare natural West Coast rainforest situated right on the landscape of Vancouver, which is just very unique and fantastic scenes there as well. And then after that tour, after your one-night stay, obviously, you have your ferry crossing to Victoria, where you'll sail through the spectacular Gulf Islands known for their Mediterranean-like climate, and also you'll have a tour of Butchart Gardens as well, as you can see it there. So as well as Bastion Square and Thunderbird Park with its collection of totem poles. Where you stay in Victoria is the fantastic Royal Scott Hotel and Suites with an indoor and outdoor pool, situated just a very short walk from Victoria's gorgeous inner harbour, as well as all the shopping and dining and everything like that as well. So perfect opportunity. And then the next day, day 9, unfortunately brings an end to this unforgettable journey, but you'll travel back on the ferry and stay in Vancouver and then that'll be your the end of the tour, essentially, if you have a flight home then, unless, of course, you're looking to perhaps extend your experience even further with an Alaskan cruise. This is a 7-night, basically it's an opportunity to extend the trip by 7 nights through the Alaskan fjords on board with Holland America on board Zuiderdam. Zuiderdam, I believe. Please don't say about my accent. I think I'm right with that one. You would basically embark in Vancouver on the same day that you finish the tour, and over the course of 7 days, head north as far as Skagway and Glacier Bay, via the Inside Passage, Juneau, and then before returning to Vancouver via Ketchikan, and once again via the Inside Passage. The beauty of a route like this is that it's not too vital which side of the ship you're on as you traverse through the fjords and glaciers, which will be either side, and anything you miss on the way up, you're more than likely to see on the way back as well. There's no disputing as well that the first 8 days of the tour have got an awful lot going on, with Rocky Mountaineer, tours of Jasper and Banff, the Ice Explorer as well. So I think an Alaska cruise would be a perfect way to delve deeper into this amazing part of the world, but in a far more relaxed fashion as well. And as you can see, here's some of the examples of what's on board. We've got the Zuiderdam holds just under 2,000 passengers. You normally get smaller ships up there in Alaska like that. And some of the facilities on board include 7 different dining options, including a steakhouse and Italian fine dining, and a really big offering in terms of entertainment as well, with an array of theatre shows, onboard experiences, but not limited to, they have what's called the World Stage, which is a theatre containing a 270-degree LED screen as the backdrop to the shows. And they've got Cantari, which is, gone too far, haven't I? Sorry, Cantari, which is a harmonising quartet. They got a BBC Earth in concert, where guests taken closer to the ocean and the natural world through a series of groundbreaking concerts and films. The Lincoln Stage, which is a collection of exceptionally talented classic musicians that perform throughout the cruise. And my personal favourite, BB King's Blues Club, bringing all the best music up from Memphis all the way up to Alaska. So, and we of course have prices on all of those from inside to outside to balcony cabins as well. So plenty of opportunity there. Now, I have to say, I used to work on cruise ships, and so I thought it'd probably be a nicer way to talk about each port than to actually say about what the experiences that I had while I was there. So I hope you can indulge me for a few minutes while I use some of my own photos. I was a lot younger back then, but I just want to give an example of some of the places you might go and show you that it's not just how it shows in the brochures. These kind of things really are kind of achievable as well. And firstly, you've got the inside passage. The one thing the first thing I realized when looking through these pictures is how much technology's moved on. So do forgive the quality of some of them, but I know I'm blaming technology, but while that's moved on, I don't really think my photographic skills have really. But the inside passage brings you a lot closer to the fjords than anything before it. It's normally a very early morning call. And it isn't a port you dock in, it's a cruising port where you traverse between carved pieces of the glaciers and basically straddle the Alaskan coastline as well. It's a great experience, and on the day I was lucky enough to see a couple of whales. You can just make out the blowholes there as well, and that's just the kind of thing that happens while you're on the cruise, so a real opportunity to get very close to the destination, really. Moving on to day 11 and Juneau. Juneau is the state capital of Alaska and probably one of the best ports in terms of potential experiences you can go on. It's a lovely city, very pleasant to walk around, pick up some souvenirs or go to a traditional Alaskan bar. Of course, you can get the helicopter tours, the whale watching, etc. But I was on a budget, so I took the cable car, which is literally minutes from the port, as you can see, and afforded me some fantastic views of both the ship and the surrounding areas. We then caught a bus to the Mendenhall Glacier, which is one of the most popular sites in the area. Pretty awe-inspiring 14-mile-long glacier and the surrounding lake that not only provides some fantastic pictures, as you can see, I got a bit wet that day, but also provides insight into, there's like a lecture kind of experience there where you can find out about global warming and the retreating glacier with lectures and tours available and everything. So like I say, not only a good experience in terms of scenery, but also for learning as well. And then you move on to Skagway. Skagway is gold rush country and remnants of that is everywhere. It's a real trip back in time. As I was walking through the town and you see like Western style saloons and those raised wooden boards that they kind of walk on. But Skagway really is a base destination from which to explore. The White Pass and the Yukon route, the railroad tours begin from here, and that's the most popular tour in Skagway by far. And it gives you a good overall history of the 1897 gold rush as well as some truly fantastic views. But I've got a separate story because I actually had a phenomenal day visiting a nearby island called Haines, which we embarked on a bear watching expedition after a short ferry ride, as you can see here. Fantastic views all the way. It was a roller coaster of emotions that day, as we spent the first 2 hours with the tracker, professional bear tracker, if you will, searching the island, and we had no signs of any of the bears. We were on coach and on foot. As you can see here, we took a stop to take some pictures of some stunning surroundings, but that really wasn't the goal. We did see some eagles and everything as well, but it was only when one of my colleagues spotted a cub coming out the trees that we quickly parked up and from a very safe distance proceeded to watch a mother bear and 2 cubs take a swim in the river and catch and eat some salmon. And it was a truly fantastic, amazing experience, one I'll never forget. And that's the kind of things that are available to you if you do go to Alaska as well. Unfortunately, my cruise itinerary didn't visit Glacier Bay National Park, so you'll notice the quality of the images are vastly improving as I've stolen these from Holland America's website. But it's a staggering place though, one of the absolute highlights of the whole tour. And it's a huge regret for me I wasn't able to experience it, but you can see below just how close you will get. And there's every chance you'll experience some ice carving while you're there, and also keep an eye out for any wildlife as well, obviously. It's part of a 3.3 million acre site. And that one here is probably, you can just see a cruise ship right in the bottom right-hand corner of that there. And that gives you the starkest image, is to basically in perspective of how large this is, and makes you think like, wow, I'm really in Alaska. And finally, Ketchikan, which in my opinion, the port being the most rich with Alaskan heritage, and they're feistily proud of it as well. Self-proclaimed the salmon capital of the world, known for its rich culture, salmon, totem poles, and also the lumberjack shows. It was a lovely mix of the novelty, like the lumberjack show, which I went to and thoroughly enjoyed. And I'm going to show you a quick video of now. They're up to all sorts on the day. wood carving, chainsaws, axe throwing, and also this. I think we all felt that one, but I say take a step away from that and you'll see a town that's fiercely proud of its roots and that welcomes people to come and looking to find out more, really. So it's a fantastic final port from which to visit. And then obviously on the way back, you'll go once again through the inside passage and disembark in Vancouver on to fly home on day 16, where once again, you'll be met at the airport and have a private car transfer from Heathrow to the front door. And that's the tour. So from start to finish. So in terms of what's included, as I've said there, you'll get a private home pickup service from the door to the airport and back. Your Miles Morgan host, which will be Fiona. So she'll be there throughout. You got your flights, your transfers. The tour director, of course, is on hand throughout. So not only will you have Fiona there, which is a familiar face, the person that you've booked it through and come to for any questions, we'll also have the services of the tour director to really, as I said, use that experience and get really deep into the destination, make sure your experience is the absolute best it can be. And of course, the accommodation, the selected meals, that's very much on the Rocky Mountaineer and the cruise segment is where you'll find that the meals included. And of course, all those taxes as well. Now, here's an example of some of the prices. If you were to do the tour with the Silver Leaf, that would be from $3,659 per person. That would be everything that I've just mentioned there before, including the home pickup and everything. And it goes right up to the way if you wanted to do with the Alaska Cruise extension, do Gold Leaf on the Rocky Mountaineer and have a balcony cabin on the Alaska Cruise. So very much the top end of everything. Then it'd be around the 5,674. And as you can see there, we've got all of the prices in between. And obviously Fiona's got them as well. So if you are interested in a specific mix of the categories, you may well want to do Gold Leaf on the Rocky Mountaineer, but you're quite happy with an outside cabin when you're on the cruise. As you can see, we've got that available as well. So do contact Fiona anymore if you're looking to find out more about the package prices. And coming to the end of it now, I've just got a few frequently asked questions that hopefully I can answer if they may be on your mind. In terms of how big the group will be, our group size operates with no more than 48 passengers on board. So what happens with my luggage on tour? Well, the drivers are responsible for loading and unloading the luggage for the motor coach. But over the years, we've noticed that less customers are using a porterage service in favour of taking their own luggage and therefore getting it an awful lot quicker. And also some hotels on our tours don't offer the service. So for us to say it's included when it hasn't has raised some issues. So if porterage is available at the hotel, you're of course welcome to use it, but it would be at your discretion. In terms of what I could say as well, if any of the hotels do not have a lift or anything like that, then we will of course make sure that you don't have to be carrying it up any stairs or anything like that. You'll only literally be responsible for wheeling it from the coach to the hotel and then into the lift and to the room. What facilities are there on the coach? Well, there's luxurious upholstery or leather, there's reclining seats, headrest, footrest, individual air vents, huge panoramic tinted windows which guarantee an obstructed view. I've got a picture of that in a moment. The coaches we use in North America are never more than 5 years old. They have free Wi-Fi, electrical outlets for any gadgets you might have, and all of them should have a USB connection, but I don't want to say 100%, but they should. And they're cleaned and disinfected daily as well. As I say, on the next slide is a picture. I'll just finish the questions though. Will there be comfort breaks? Absolutely. We provide comfort breaks every couple of hours throughout the tour anyway, although you'd normally find that we normally don't travel longer than when you'd like hit a photo opportunity or an excursion, etc. So the amount of the long journeys are already reduced. But should they arise, we do have stops every couple of hours so people can go out and stretch the legs and everything like that. Of course, we have a toilet on board as well. But let's say we do stop for those comfort breaks as well. And a lot of people ask if they can sit in the same seat. While we normally operate a seat rotation policy, with current COVID guidelines, we've postponed that. By September 2022, I'd like to think we'll be back to our usual policies, but I don't want to guarantee that yet. So that one is kind of up in the air at the moment because it depends kind of how we progress really. And this is just a picture of our coach to give you an example of the kind of style you'll be traveling in. as I said, about the tinted windows and everything like that, large tinted windows. And I'm sure you've heard more than enough of me now. A huge thank you for sticking with me. And I'm here for any questions that you might have as well. So thank you.